My name is Aaron and I am the director of the Katherine Low Settlement. We're a very busy local charity in Battersea that's really been building community, tackling poverty and reducing isolation for nearly 100 years. But I'm here tonight to talk to you about the work that we've been doing for more than 18 years, working with young people and their families from refugee backgrounds. And we do this so that they can thrive in their education. We run a range of homework clubs, GCSE support, mentoring, advice, and increasingly advice and guidance around their future careers, employment, and their mental health and well-being. Last year, we supported 340 young people from 14 different countries, including Afghanistan, Syria, Eritrea, and Somalia. However, all of our programs are full. We're at capacity. There is such demand in our community, and this is only going to increase as more refugees arrive from Afghanistan and Ukraine. Your generosity tonight would help us reach our fundraising target of £14,720, which would enable us to employ a new partnerships manager for 2 days a week for a year. And this would help us build our nascent employability and well-being programme. And for us, we know that this will set young people on a proper career path that would have a significant impact, not just for themselves, but for their families, our local communities, and our economy. I'd like to tell you a bit about just one of the young people that we work with, and we'll call him Mohammed. He first joined our Love to Learn programme as a rather troubled 14-year-old. He'd escaped from Somalia by himself, and he'd fallen into a bad crowd when he arrived. And as he told me, he was heading on the path to prison. But that's when he met my colleague, Ahmed. Over his teenage years, Mohammed attended our homework club, got one-to-one support from a volunteer learning mentor, and some practical help from our advice team. There were, of course, setbacks along the way. He did have to reset some of his GCSEs and one of his A-levels, but it was really his grit, his determination, and his hard work, with support from us, that actually enabled him to go on to university, and now he's proudly working as an electrical engineer. So tonight we need your support to help more young people like Mohammed to realise their dreams. As I said, we are a busy local charity. We run a range of our own community services with about 500 people coming through our doors a week. Our Love to Learn programme works with refugees, particularly focusing on young people. But we also campaign for social change, and we also incubate other small charities and social businesses and networks to thrive. I have an amazing team of about 200 volunteers, 36 staff, and we have over 60 partnerships. And together we are making a significant difference of about 5% of the local population in Battersea. But we know as a society we are becoming increasingly polarised, and I was talking to some of you earlier this evening about, on one hand, we're saying, send them back home, let's lock them up, let's actually make it illegal for people to enter this country, or let's deport them to Rwanda. But on the other hand, we're actually saying, and there's been a massive outpouring of support, over 150,000 people opening up their homes to people from Ukraine, and even the Queen was having tea with a refugee bear from Peru as part of her Jubilee celebrations. However, the young people that we work with are living in poverty. They're struggling on low incomes, carrying a lot of trauma and mental health issues. Many are unaccompanied, having to escape and travel on their own to reach these shores, and now living in foster care. They are substantially behind at every educational key stage, and 4 times more likely to actually become unemployed. But why can't these amazing young people, whatever their ambitions, with support from us, be independent, financially self-sufficient, and leading full lives in our communities? The flip side, unfortunately, could be a life of poverty, poor mental health, unemployment, and that is a significant cost to us as society, but also us as taxpayers. So, over the last year, we've been piloting a new employability and wellbeing programme with 64 refugee young people aged 16 to 21. We've been running a range of wellbeing programs, looking at things like nutrition, finances, but their personal relationships as well. employability workshops and one-to-one support looking at CVs and personal statements. We've run 2 careers fairs with 14 local employers, and recently a local employer managed to get us a sailing trip down to the Isle of Wight at half term for 15 of our young people, many of whom had never seen the sea or had crossed over under some very difficult situations. But our young people have got so many more ideas. And we're having more offers of support from local businesses, volunteers, schools, and other possible partners, but we haven't got the capacity. And so we want to build a structured, organised programme that a new partnerships manager could help us achieve. We have been monitoring, evaluating, and refining our pilot with our young people as we've gone along. And this is what we found that's happened. There's been a significant improvement all round, but particularly that 72% know what they want to go on and do next. And this is as an average of only about 30% of their peers at school. But there's much more to be done, and so we need your help. The pandemic has significantly disrupted their lives, their education, and their future prospects, and they are asking us for more help, and so in turn, I am asking you for your help tonight. So together, we will be able to support more young people like Mohammed realise their dreams. Thank you very much.